Good morning, my darlings. Today we're going to be talking about permutations and combinations. We're going to start by discussing a permutation. Permutation is an arrangement of a group of items where the order is important. Order is important. Order matters. Okay? So we're taking a certain number of things and we're arranging them in a way that the order matters. That's a permutation. This will help us calculate certain sample spaces when we're trying to figure out a given probability question. So let's look at an example. Here we've got the letters A, B, C, and D. And we're looking to figure out how many permutations of 3 letters we can pick. We have 4 letters, and we're picking 3 of them and putting them into groups. Over here, it shows you all the different permutations. Okay? There's quite a few of them that you can make out of 4 letters, picking 3 at a time. Now you'll notice I have A, B, C here. This next permutation also has A, B, and C in it. The same group of letters. However, this group is in a different order. Since in a permutation the order is important, we count these as 2 separate groups. So when we're looking at how to calculate a permutation, we can see that it is related to the fundamental counting principle. Let's take a look at this example. How many different ways can 4 runners be arranged in a 20-person race? That means I've got 20 people and I'm picking out 4 of them. 1 of them for first place, second, third, and fourth. So first off, how many options are there for first place? Well, we haven't picked anybody yet, so 1 person out of these 20 can be in first place. However, next time when I go in for second place, you can't have first and second, so 1 of these people has already been selected. That means I now have 19 people to pick from. It's kind of like choosing without replacement. Third place, now I only have 18 people to pick from, and fourth place gives me 17 people to pick from. So our fundamental counting principle says that category 1 would be first place, category 2 would be second, third place would be our third category, and fourth place would be our fourth category. I have 20 people in this group, 19, 18, and 17. It also says that in order to figure out the total number of our sample space, we would then multiply these together. So overall, I'm going to have a really huge number of permutations. It would be 116,280 different permutations. Quite a few. So let's take a look at this. A little bit of notation, and then I'll show you this formula. Please wait to freak out. Bear with me. So we call this, the P stands for permutation, and then you have an N and an R. I'm going to usually use this particular notation, however, sometimes you see it like this, with this subscript in front and back. Now the N is going to stand for the number of choices you have. So this is your total possible. For example, and above we had 20 people possible. The N stands for how many you're taking at a time, or how many are you picking out of the total. So we had 20, and we're picking 4. So let's take a look at the formula now that we know what these mean. Some of you may not have seen this symbol before. See this? What is that? Yep, it's an exclamation point. In math, we call it a factorial. And a factorial tells us that we are going to multiply all the numbers starting from the big one all the way down to its smallest. So for example, if I have 4 factorial, it's telling me I need to multiply together 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. 7 factorial would be multiplying together 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So it's a interesting operation that we're performing there. Now I know this looks a little bit scary, so let's take a closer look at it. We know what each of these means. The n factorial means we're taking the total number of choices, in this case it was 20, and we're writing it out as a factorial. You'll see I wrote all of them out, 20 times 19 all the way down. We're taking this number of choices factorial and we're going to divide it by the number of choices, subtracting the number that we're picking. So 20 minus